What's up, YouTube? It's Onion Bomb here, and welcome to my Week 15 NFL 2018 game predictions for, of course, the 2018 season. It is already Week 15, crazy. That means we got Week 15, 16, and 17, and then we're into the playoffs. But before we even get into the Week 15 game predictions, let's look back at Week 14 and see how we all did. And as you guys can see, I actually did the worst. Didn't do that bad for being the worst, but I still did pretty bad compared to my other records. I went 7-9. I don't think my worst this season. I think I did go 6-10 at one point. I think that might have been my worst. It wasn't lower than 5-11, I don't believe, but 7-9 isn't that good, especially when I had a lead to hold, and when the bowl goes really good at 12-4 and is right on my doorstep again for the overall, because as you guys can see, I am 121-85, and of course the two ties we had, and the bowl is 119-87. So I only have a 2-game lead now, as opposed to whatever lead I had before this. I think it was like 6 or 7 maybe. But yeah, and Madden, is still pretty far behind, probably over with. Has another average week at 8-8. If Madden wants to get back in the race, I think it needs to do a little bit better than that, but it's been doing better than it normally has. This is its second 8-8 season in a week in a row, not this whole entire season. But yeah, I have a 20-point lead over Madden, and the Bull has an 18. So I mean, it's not impossible, but the way me and the Bull have been going, I think it's not likely. So yeah, let's look back at the actual games that played. Titans versus the Jaguars. Me and the Bull got that right with the Titans. The man got that wrong with the Jaguars. Jets versus the Bills. Me and the Bull got that wrong with the Bills, but man got that right with the Jets. Giants versus the Redskins. Me and the Bull got that wrong with the right with the Giants, but man got that wrong with the Redskins. Saints versus the Buccaneers. We all three got that right with the Saints. Patriots versus the Dolphins. Me and the Bull got that wrong with the Patriots, but the Bull got that right with the Dolphins. Me and Man got that wrong with the Patriots. And what a game that was! What a win for Miami. Ravens versus the Chiefs. We all three got that right with the Chiefs. Colts versus the Texans. Me and Madden got that wrong with the Texans, but the Bull got that right with the Colts. Rams versus the Bears. Pretty big upset there, although not too surprising because the Bears are a good team. All three of us got that wrong with the Rams. Panthers versus the Browns. Bull got that right with the Browns, but me and Man got that wrong with the Panthers. Falcons versus the Packers. Man got that right with the Packers, but me and the Bull got that wrong with the Falcons. Broncos versus the 49ers. The Bull got that right with the 49ers, and so did Madden, but I got that wrong with the Broncos. Bengals versus the Chargers. I got that right with the Chargers. Man got that right with the Chargers. And the Bull got that wrong with the Bengals. Eagles versus the Cowboys. We all three got that right with saying the Cowboys. Lions versus the Cardinals. We all three got that right with saying the Lions. Steelers versus the Raiders. Man got that right with the Raiders. And me and Madden got that wrong with the Steelers. Vikings versus the Seahawks. Me and Man got that wrong with the Vikings, and the Bull got that right with the Seahawks. So as you have it, that we have the records, how we all did. I need to step up. Hopefully I can step up again this week and maintain my lead, because if I have another week and the Bull has another week like we did last week, then it is going to be slow for me. And there's only 3 weeks left. We got this week, 15, and 16, and 17, and then that's it. We are going to predict the playoffs, but that's not going to count towards the overall regular season record. So it's really coming down to it. Hopefully I can pull away. Hopefully I can. Maybe the Bull will. Maybe you want the Bull too. I don't know. Maybe Man can overtake us both. Let's see and get into these Week 15 NFL game predictions. Alright, starting off with an amazing game. We got a divisional game against 2 really good teams. Thursday Night Football, we have the Chargers at the Chiefs. This is going to be a very good game. I'm very indifferent about that. I feel I could see either team winning this. I could see the Chargers winning this. I could see the Chiefs winning this. This game, I believe, was already played week 1. The Chiefs won it. This time it's at Chiefs in Arrowhead. That's always an advantage. Chargers have been playing really well too, though. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to pick the Chiefs. I think they are the slightly better team here. And we're looking record-wise, looking at it's their home field advantage, and they definitely have a good home field advantage. I believe their stadium is like one of the loudest in the NFL. If I do believe so, I'm not sure about that, but I think I saw that somewhere. I don't know. But regardless of that, I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Chargers because I just think they will. They're still a great team. I know they don't have Kareem Hunt anymore, but I think they're still a good team regardless. The Bull is actually going to take the Chargers to win that, to win against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Madden's going to agree with the Bull and say the Chargers beat the Chiefs 24-20. I agree. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the score is going to be more in the 30s, but yeah. That one could go either way. It depends. I'm still sticking with the Chiefs, but the Chargers could definitely win that. Alright, next up we have the Browns at the Broncos. The Broncos disappointed me. Lost against the 49ers. Yeah, already they could have just barely made the playoffs. I don't think it's quite over for them yet, but that was definitely a loss they could not afford. The Browns coming off a surprising win against the Panthers. However, that doesn't change anything for me. I'm still going to take the Broncos over the Browns. Honestly, the Browns are showing like they're actually not that bad of a team. I do think the Broncos are slightly better, are the better team, but in the future that might not be the case. If the Browns keep improving like this, but yeah, this could be a good game. I think the Broncos are gonna come out on top. The Broncos defense is really what's selling it for me. But the Browns offense could get something going. But I think the Broncos are gonna come out on top and win against the Browns, just because I believe the Broncos will be the better team. The Bull is going to take the Broncos as well. But Madden's gonna take the Browns to win this one. 17-6 against the Denver Broncos. Honestly, I don't agree with it, but I can't say that I don't see it. Next up, we have the Texans at the Jets. And I'm definitely taking the Texans on this one. I think they are the much better team without question. Jets, have a promising quarterback in Sam Darnold, but other than that, aren't the best team. The Texans have been looking very good. They did, in Indianapolis, upset them last week. They were on a major winning streak. It snapped. But I think they can still win against the Jets here. I think they're definitely a better team than the Jets, and they're still playoff bound. They're still AFC Southbound champions. I still think they can do it. And I think they're a way better team than the Jets, so I think the Texans are going to beat the Jets. The Bulls going to agree with me and say the Texans are going to indeed beat the New York Jets. But Madden says the Jets are going to beat the Texans 39-14. I think Madden thinks we're in a different year here because I don't see this year's Jets completely blowing out this year's Texans. Maybe in years prior, but I don't know about that one, man. It's not that I can't see your upset, because after last week, I'm convinced any upset can happen at any moment. But I can't see that much of a blowout with the upset. I don't know. That's just me, though. Alright, next up we have the Packers at the Bears. This matchup was played earlier in the year. Week 1, actually. Very close game. Aaron Rodgers was hurt for a little bit and he came back and won it. I don't think it's going to happen this time. I think the Bears are going to win. I'm going to take the Bears to win this one. honestly, the way this season has been going, the Bears are definitely looking like they're the better team. Aaron Rodgers can still do something. They could possibly win this game, but I have more faith in the Bears. They're probably hot after this Rams win. It's at their home field. They didn't quite have enough edge to win it last time. I think this time they will. They're definitely the better team, but will they be able to win like they're the better team, or will they end up losing? Madden, sorry, not Madden yet. We'll get the Madden's prediction in a second. The Bull thinks the Bears will end up losing and is going to take the Packers to win against the Chicago Bears. Madden's going to agree with me and say the Bears are going to win against the Packers 23-21. I love that score. For that game, I love that score. I think it's going to go down like much similar to that. It's going to be a very close game, but Chicago will come out on top this time, unlike what happened in Week 1. Next up we have the Lions at the Bills. This is an interesting game. Both teams are pretty mediocre. I think the Lions are slightly better, so I'm going to take the Lions to beat the Bills. Plus, the Bills have been disappointing me every time I take them. Literally, I think every time I want to have faith in them, they flop. So I don't know. I think the Lions are going to come out on top here. I definitely think they're the better team. Not by much, but they're the better team. So that is why, even though it's Bills' home field advantage, I'm going to take the Lions to win this one. Josh Allen's pretty good, but yeah, just overall as a team, the Bills are not the best. However, the Bulls going to take the Bills, have faith in the Bills, and say the Bills are going to be able to beat the Lions. And Madden's going to take the Bills, too, to beat the Lions 16-10. I like the low scoringness of that. It could go that way. It could not. I don't know. We'll have to see. Next up we have the Buccaneers at the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, the Ravens, as much as I hate to admit, have a chance to win the AFC North this year. And if you guys didn't know, I'm a Steelers fan, so that's disappointing for me. It's also disappointing for me to take the Ravens in this matchup. I would love for them to use here, but I just can't see them losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They almost beat the Chiefs. I was very worried last week, but the Chiefs pulled it through. That's good for them. Oh, man, I wish the Steelers would start stepping up. They stepped up literally for so many games this season and mid-season, and then they just started flopping. Ever since the Broncos game, they've been flopping. It's crazy, but I think Baltimore is going to win this game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, I just think they're the better team. Yeah, and it's home field advantage for them. Bulls gonna agree with me and say the Ravens are going to win against the Buccaneers. But Madden is gonna say the Buccaneers beat the Ravens 38-28. Madden, I really hope you're right. I really hope you're right. I don't even care if I'm getting that prediction wrong if you're right. I really hope you are right. I want you to be right so bad. Because I do want to do good in these prediction videos, but the first things first is anything that helps the Steelers. And after that, then I worry about my predictions and fantasy football and stuff like that. Then I root for that. But anything to help the Steelers is what I root for, number one. Next up we have the Cardinals at the Falcons. And I'm going with the Falcons here. Falcons, even with a lot of injuries on defense, they should be the better team here. They should get the win. This actually is an upset I could see happening, but I'm not going to take it. I'm not that comfortable with it. I think the Falcons can do something, even though they're struggling a little bit this season. I think the Cardinals are struggling more, and I think they're going to lose this game to the Falcons. And the both agrees with me. It says the Falcons are going to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Madden's going to make this a three-way agreement, saying the Falcons beat the Cardinals 27-21. 24. That close game. I don't see that being a close game, but I do see it being low scoring. If that makes sense, which I think it should. Next up, we have the Raiders at the Bengals. The Raiders coming off. Oh, can't believe I'm saying this. Coming off a win against the Steelers. Oh my goodness, you guys don't know how much that hurts me to say, to even think about. I just the Raiders. Why did the Steelers keep Ben out so long? They underestimated the Raiders. Thought Dobbs could stop them. We're not getting into that. This is for the this game's prediction. I'm still taking the Bengals, even though if the Bengals win this, it's gonna make the Steelers look very bad. And it's just gonna. The Bengals are the better team. The Steelers are the better team too. The biggest upset ever. I'm taking the Bengals. I think the Bengals will be able to beat the Raiders. I don't know. It would be cool if they went, but I just don't see it happening. I didn't see last week. I don't know because I didn't see Raiders winning last week either. But so you don't never know. The Bulls gonna take the Raiders again. It took the Raiders last week and it worked out. It's gonna try its luck again. I don't know how that's gonna work out this week. Madden's actually gonna take the Raiders this time too. 20-19, beating the Cincinnati Bengals. I hope you guys are right. I hope the Bull and Matt are right, even though that wouldn't be good for me because I'd lose the prediction. But I can't go with the Raiders yet, even though they pulled a big upset. I can't take the Raiders. I am going to still take the Bengals. Next up, we have the Titans at the Giants. Giants coming off a big victory against, a quarterback-less Redskins team. Not the most impressive, but still good. Giants aren't like that bad of a team anymore. However, the Titans coming off a pretty good victory against the Jaguars. I'm going to take the Titans to win this game. I know I haven't been taking the Giants a lot, and I took them last week, and they've been doing good. I just don't think they're going to win this game. I think the Titans are the better team. And they played really well against Jacksonville, so I think they can play really well against the Giants. I think they're going to win. They probably won't because it feels like every time I think the Titans are going to do really, really good. They choke and don't, but yeah. So off to see. I think the Titans are going to win this game. However, the Bulls going to take the Giants to win this game. And like I said, I could see it happening. And I put nothing past anybody anymore. Man, however, is going to take the Titans to win 35-28 against the Giants. Yeah, it could go either way, I guess, but I have more faith in the Titans. But hey, won't wonder that could mean nothing. I don't know. Next up, we have the Dolphins at the Vikings. Now, this, believe it or not, was a very hard one for me to predict. I realized I have too much faith in the Vikings. They haven't been doing as well as I thought they've been doing. They've been letting me down recently. They lost to the Seahawks. Miami literally pulled off a miracle to beat the Patriots. I really want to take the Vikings here, but for some reason I was feeling the upset. I thought about taking the Dolphins, and then I wasn't feeling good about that. But then I don't know, I didn't want to go back on it, so I'm gonna take the upset here. I'm gonna take the Dolphins to completely upset the Vikings. I know that would be terrible for the Vikings. But I can't. I'm trying one upset. I don't know if it's gonna work out or not. We're gonna have to see when that time comes. So yeah, we'll just have to see. The Bulls gonna actually agree with me. And say the Dolphins are gonna beat the Vikings. Funny, every time I think I'm taking an upset, everyone seems to agree with me. I mean, I know the Bull just agrees with me, but yeah, I always expect to be the odd man out when I take picks like that. But really anything can be chosen from the Bull, but Madden might be a little bit smarter, but it hasn't been appeared to be. Madden's going to take the Vikings to win this game, 31-17. My initial reaction is I like that. I feel like it's gonna happen, but I'm trying to look at games a little differently, and I'm taking the upset in that one. We'll just have to see. All right, next up we have the Redskins at the Jaguars. I'm going with the Jaguars. Jaguars have been not being that good of a team. Redskins were a pretty good team until they lost their quarterback, and then they lost their backup quarterback, and now they're using Mark Sanchez. I don't know why I need Sanchez or whatever I initially try to say. I don't know. Sanchez. I'm trying to say Sanchez, but yeah, I think Mark Sanchez is not going to do good against the Jacksonville defense. And no matter what the offensive woes for Jacksonville are, I think Leonard Fournette alone is going to be enough to score enough points to beat the Redskins. So yeah, I'm definitely going to pick the Jaguars to win over the Redskins here. The Bulls going to agree with me and say the Jaguars are going to beat the Washington Redskins. And the Bull is going to make, Man's going to make this a three-way agreement, saying the Jaguars are going to beat the Redskins 38-17. And that score makes a lot of sense to me. Alright, next up we have the Cowboys at the Colts. I'm going with the Cowboys. They have playoffs on the line. I think they're going to really play to win now. The Colts, they did just win the against the Texans. Not that they're not playing to win either, but I think the Cowboys have a better chance. I think the Cowboys are a better team. Their defense has been playing pretty well. Of course, they have Zeke. And Amari Cooper's been doing really good too. Dak's still a decent quarterback. I think the Cowboys are going to win that against the Colts. Colts have good players too, of course, Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, but yeah, I think that overall Cowboys are a better team. Even with the Colts home field advantage, I think the Cowboys are going to win this. The Bulls going to agree with me and say the Cowboys are going to beat the Colts. Man's going to make this three-way agreement saying the Cowboys beat the Colts 35-17. Honestly, it just makes sense. Alright, next up we have the Seahawks at the 49ers. And of course, I'm taking the Seahawks. Easy pick here. 49ers still struggling, but they did get it done against the Denver Broncos. Still, Seahawks definitely a better team. The Seahawks have been playing really well. Potential wild card spot for the playoffs. I think they're definitely going to win against the 49ers. Yeah, it's as simple as that. The Seahawks are clearly the better team here, and they're most likely going to win this unless a major upset is going to occur, which the Bull thinks is going to happen because the Bull's going to be taking the 49ers to upset the Seattle Seahawks. And Madden's going to be wild and agree with that and say the 49ers upset the Seahawks 28-17. You know what? I wonder if Madden thinks Jimmy G isn't injured. I don't think I set that up. I maybe that might be a problem, but it could still happen as an upset. I don't know. You never know anymore. I never know. I don't even know what to pick or think after the last week. And it's not just that the Steelers lost to the Raiders. It's a bunch of games didn't go my way. Even though I only went 7-9, I know that's still not good, but it's I don't even. It was not what I was expecting in summary. Alright. Next up, we have my game, my team, the Steelers. It's the Patriots at the Steelers. Long-awaited game. Patriots, talk about having a number. Always seem to beat the Steelers. Literally do. Like, they're like 11-2 all time. I'm taking the Patriots. Wow, that really hurts me to say, but I'm taking the Patriots. I have to. As a Steelers fan, gotta put all bias aside. As much as I want bias to be there, I can't. The Patriots are just... they're a better team than the Steelers. They're gonna probably win this game. I went against the Steelers last year. even though I should have lost because of the Jesse James catch. I got it right. So until the Steelers show me something else, I'm gonna take the Patriots. Plus, they're on a 3 losing streak. They've lost to the Raiders. How are they supposed to beat the Patriots? Easier than it should be, but I'm easy pick. Going to take the Patriots. Home field doesn't matter. Steelers play terrible at home anymore. I don't even know. The Bull is going to have faith in my team and say the Steelers are going to win this game. And Madden's going to have faith in the Steelers too, saying the Steelers win 35-32. Guys, if you're right, I really hope you're right. But I don't know. I just don't think. I want you guys to right, but as a Steelers fan, I hope and I hope and I hope, but it never happens. It never happens. They never beat the Patriots. I'm sorry, guys, but you might be getting that one wrong. You probably are getting that one wrong. All right, next up we have the Eagles at the Rams. Pretty good game. Eagles haven't been as good as they've been should be, so it's gonna be a little bit worse than it should have been. But yeah, I'm taking the Rams here. I think they're definitely the better team. And the Eagles, they've been struggling a little bit. Rams have not, even though they're coming off a loss to the Bears. Bears are just a good team. Bears are just a good team now. So that's not really that bad of a loss. Eagles have done worse. At first, I thought this was gonna be a game the Rams could lose, but nah, I'm not seeing it anymore. I say the Rams are going to be able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. It just makes sense. The Bull, however, is not gonna say that's gonna happen. It says the Eagles are going to be able to beat the LA Rams. Matt's gonna agree with the Bull and say the Eagles beat the Rams 34-13. Last year's Eagles? Maybe. This year's Eagles? I don't see it, but I guess it could happen as well. I don't know. Alright, last but not least, Monday Night Football. We have the Saints and the Panthers. A long-awaited divisional game. Panthers have been choking here. They still have to play this game again after this. But I'm going with the Saints because I think the Saints are a better team. The Saints sure had their number last year, beating them not one, not two, not just sweeping them in the regular season, but 3 times, beating them in the wild card of the playoffs, I believe. It just makes sense to take the Saints over the Panthers after their losing streak, and the Saints have been winning, even though they just recently lost to the Cowboys. They've come off a win against the Buccaneers. Panthers come off a loss against the Browns. I think the Saints are going to win against the Panthers. The Bull, however, is going to take the Panthers to win against the New Orleans Saints. But Madden's going to agree with me on this one and say the Saints beat the Panthers 31-24. Alright, that's going to bring it to an end here. Let's quickly recap. Chargers at the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs. Bulls taking the Chargers. Man's taking the Chargers. Browns at the Broncos. I'm taking the Broncos. Bulls taking the Broncos. Man's taking the Browns. Texans at the Jets. I'm taking the Texans. Bulls taking the Texans. Man's taking the Jets. Packers at the Bears. I'm taking the Bears. Bulls taking the Packers. Man's taking the Bears. Lions at the Bills. I'm taking the Lions. Bulls taking the Bills. Man's taking the Bills. Buccaneers at the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens. Bulls taking the Ravens. Man's taking the Buccaneers. Cardinals at the Falcons. I'm taking the Falcons. Bulls taking the Falcons. Man's taking the Falcons. Raiders at the Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals. Bulls taking the Raiders. Man's taking the Raiders. Titans at the Giants. I'm taking the Titans. Bulls taking the Giants. Man's taking the Titans. Dolphins at the Vikings. I'm taking the Dolphins. Bulls taking the Dolphins. Madden's taking the Vikings. Redskins at the Jaguars. I'm taking the Jaguars. Bulls taking the Jaguars. Madden's taking the Jaguars. Cowboys at the Colts. I'm taking the Cowboys. Bulls taking the Cowboys. Madden's taking the Cowboys. Seahawks at the 49ers. I'm taking the Seahawks. Bulls taking the 49ers. Madden's taking the 49ers. Patriots at the Steelers. I'm taking the Patriots. Bulls taking the Steelers. Madden's taking the Steelers. Eagles at the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. Bulls taking the Eagles. Madden's taking the Eagles. Saints at the Panthers. I'm taking the Saints. Bulls taking the Panthers. And Madden will be taking the Panthers. Saints. The Madden's taking the Saints. Almost didn't mess up too bad, but I had to mess up a little bit there at the end. So yeah, that's going to be it, guys. If you guys want to see how we do, make sure you watch the Week 16 prediction video, because like we did with Week 14, we're going to recap how we all did, how the records are, and looking at the standings for Week 15. And then we'll get into Week 16 predictions. So yeah, it's really coming down to it, guys. We're going to finish it off the regular season. And then I'm going to have a playoff prediction one, which is going to be done a little bit differently than normal like predictions, of course, because it's the playoffs, different layout and stuff. We'll see like brackets and stuff. And then after the playoffs, which is a pretty long time away, I'm going to make a video kind of recapping how everyone went, the results of it all. And yeah, then I might talk to you guys a little bit about something. So yeah, we'll just have to wait until this season is over. So yeah, please stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. You know, it's always up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video you watch of me. Goodbye.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong.